My name is Lynne Twist, and I'm an author, a consultant, a coach, a speaker. But who I really am is what I call a proactivist. I say proactivist because I'm an activist for, not against. I'm engaged in world issues and ending world hunger, preserving a natural world, working with indigenous peoples of the Amazon, empowering women. And this word proactivist really also describes what I call living a committed life, which is a book I just finished writing, and really is the story of finding my own most profound commitment to life and living from there. And I started this whole project of this book because of a friend named Jack Canfield, who wrote Chicken Soup for the Soul. He sold hundreds and hundreds of millions of books. He's one of the best storytellers in the world. And he's a friend of mine, and he knows, he's been to the Ecuadorian Amazon with me. We've traveled to Africa together. He knows that I've had experiences with Mother Teresa, with Desmond Tutu, with Nelson Mandela, with Jane Goodall, that I've had a life that you couldn't dream up, the kind of experiences I've had. And he told me one day, you have got to write a book of stories about your life. And just come to my house. I'll get a group of 20 or 30 really wonderful people and take 3 days, and I'm just going to interview you, and you tell me story after story after story after story after story, and we'll record it, we'll videotape it, we'll transcribe it, and that's the beginning of the book. And so I did that, and thank God for Jack Canfield, because this is my life, and each story is so precious to me, that it's sometimes I get started telling one story and I can't stop. It goes for 20, 30, 40, 50 minutes. But when I actually told story after story after story in Jack's living room, I cried, people cried, we laughed, people laughed, and I realized, my God, what a life I've been given. I never could have planned it. I was raised as a Catholic. I would have done anything to meet or sit at the feet of Mother Teresa. Yet it was through the commitment that I made to end world hunger that I found myself at her feet. It was through the commitment I've made to an environmentally sustainable, spiritually fulfilling, socially just human presence on this planet that I found myself working with shamans and elders in the Amazon rainforest, in the most biodiverse, important, ancient, most precious ecosystem on this planet. So it is through living my commitments, not my wants, but my dreams for the world, that I have found myself in the company of giants. And some of those people are people that you and I wouldn't even know their names, like the women in Ethiopia who survived the 1984-1985 famine. These are women, 5 mothers, who lost every single one of their children to starvation, and yet they were still alive. One woman lost 11 children to starvation, and she was still alive. And I sat with her and 4 other women who lost every single one of their children to starvations in that famine. And we named and told the story, each mother did, of the life and death of each one of their children, one by one. And when we were done with Malika, her life of 2 years, and how she died walking towards a mirage, thinking it was water, and dropped dead, trying to take the next step. Or Mohammed, who was only a month old and died at her mother's breast because her mother had no milk left after having no water for 7 days. These stories, after the women told about each one of these children, we would cry, we would wail, We would keen, we would scream, we would hold each other until we had honored the deep and profound grief of the loss of that child. Then we would take a break and the mother would talk about the next child. This is an experience that I had, that I went through with my heart, with my soul, with my guts. I don't know how I could have ever designed a deeper or more profound experience of what it means to be a mother. I'm a mother myself. But that experience in Ethiopia changed my life forever and gave me a kind of depth of being, of knowing, of humanity, and of a capacity to love that have served my commitments in a way that I have lived what I'm calling, what I've named, and what I've written about, a committed life. My book, Living a Committed Life, tells these stories in as deep and profound a way as I possibly can. And the point of the book is to let people know that if you live a committed life, it gives you freedom and fulfillment in a way that you couldn't have imagined. It is a life that's dedicated to something larger than yourself. And in that commitment, you are free from your wants, your desires, your upsets, your fears. You become the instrument of something larger than yourself. And in that incredible gift, you have freedom, fulfillment, and an experience of unconditional love for the world and from the world. So I'm proud of my book. I'm proud of my life, and I hope you read it. Thank you.